Today's story is short, but it's one of the most surprising and important lessons in the Bible. It's about the prophet Elisha and a group of boys who didn't show respect. After the prophet Elijah was taken up to heaven, Elisha became the new prophet of God. God had given him the same spirit that was on Elijah, and Elisha began traveling and teaching the people of Israel. One day, Elisha was walking from Jericho to a town called Bethel. As he was going along the road, a group of young boys came out from the city. They saw Elisha and started mocking him. They made fun of him by shouting, "Go up, you bald head! Go up, you bald head!" They weren't just teasing him for being bald. They were mocking a prophet of God, saying, "Go up." It might have even meant they were mocking what had just happened to Elijah, who went up to heaven. These boys were being rude, not just to a man, but to a servant of the Lord. Elisha turned around when he heard them. He looked at them, and then he called down a curse on them in the name of the Lord, not out of anger, but to let God deal with their disrespect. Then, 2 bears came out of the nearby forest and attacked the group. The Bible says 42 of the boys were harmed. After that, Elisha continued on his way. Now, this may sound like a harsh story, but it's important to understand what it teaches. Elisha didn't ask the bears to come. He simply gave the situation to God, and God judged it. These boys weren't just being silly. They were showing deep disrespect to God's prophet. And in the Bible, to dishonor God's prophet is to dishonor God himself. God had just chosen Elisha as his new prophet, and this event showed everyone that God was with him. Just as people had respected Elijah, they now needed to respect Elisha. We learn that words matter. How we speak to people, especially those God has placed in leadership, shows what's in our hearts. Respect is important, not just to be polite, but because it reflects our attitude toward God. We also learn that mocking or making fun of others can be serious in God's eyes, especially when it's meant to hurt or shame someone, or when it's aimed at people doing God's work. Finally, we learn that God sees everything. Even when we think we're just joking or going along with the crowd, God knows our hearts and holds us responsible for our actions. This story isn't about being afraid of God. It's about remembering to honor Him, honor His people, and use our words with care. Thanks for listening, and remember, respect matters, because it shows who we really serve. See you next time.